Welcome to Cocktober, everyone. This game I'm looking forward to the most over any other game the weekend. I think it's going to be really exciting. Cocktober starts. Everyone knows that's when South Carolina is hunting. So this is going to be great. They welcome in Ole Miss, 3:30 kick. I will also be at the game, so I am super excited. First time in Columbia, first time going to see the Gamecock. So I'm super excited about this. South Carolina is coming off a bye week, and Ole Miss is coming off of a loss to Kentucky. So this is a very interesting matchup here, and I think a lot of it will be in terms of how the game will go. A lot of it will be determined upon LaNorris Sellers. I think he's the most important person in this game. If he is healthy, I think South Carolina can hang around and potentially pull off an upset here. But if he is not healthy, and Robbie Ashford, I don't think can get the job done. So I think LaNorris Sellers, his health, his ability to run and to put the ball down the field he's going to be the most important person in this game. Outside of that, this game just has so much going for it. You add in Juice Wells transferring away from South Carolina to Ole Miss. He's, coming into himself at Ole Miss after being an absolute stud at South Carolina. I think the South Carolina fans are pretty bitter about that. They were hoping to have him back for this year. That's a pretty big loss. So there's a lot of vitriol, a lot of hatred there as well. Now, things that I'm looking for in this game is can Ole Miss block this South Carolina defensive line? They struggled with Kentucky, and obviously Kentucky has Deion Walker, who's an absolute stud, but South Carolina is no slouch on the D-line either. They have, Dylan Stewart and Kyle Kennard, who are game wreckers. They can absolutely take apart and own a game. So can Ole Miss, can they remedy that? Can they push them around? Can they give Jackson Dart some time to throw? I think if we're looking at a path to victory here for Ole Miss is if the O-line can withstand this defensive line pressure, and they can, I think Ole Miss has the capability of exposing a little bit of the South Carolina secondary. I think that's going to be their weakness here. And with Jackson Dart and those threats you have at wide receiver, they can really pick apart a secondary if Jackson Dart is able to have some time here. So it's going to be really important that the Ole Miss offensive line is able to block these guys. And if I flip it around here, if I look for a South Carolina victory, a path for them, it's make Dart uncomfortable in the pocket, cause chaos. Like I said, Kentucky owned Dylan Stewart up front, but if you're able to come around with getting some defensive turnovers and maybe getting the points from your defense, I think you have an opportunity to win, because I think you're going to need to score 27 to 30 points to win this game if you're South Carolina and keep up with Ole Miss. I don't think they can get all that from the offense, so you're really going to have to rely on your defense generating some points, which I think they can do based off what we just saw with Kentucky last week against Ole Miss. And another thing is we've been waiting for Nick Harbor to have this breakout game. If he can have this breakout game, South Carolina will be in a good position, but he has not lived up to the hype and the potential that we are all hoping for Nick Harbor. So we'll see if he finally has this breakout game, and when hey, it's Cocktober. Once Cocktober starts, anything is on the table. So I think the game right now is Ole Miss -9. I'm kind of leaning Ole Miss -9 here. I like them to come back off of a bounce back from Kentucky. And if they can expose the South Carolina secondary, I think they can pull it off. I'm not betting this game, but I would lean Ole Miss -9. Follow Big Body CFB on all socials.